We're joined by Louth hurler Peter Fortune, originally a St. Mullins and Carlow man, I believe.
Yeah, originally from St. Mullins, yeah. So played with St. Mullins for a good few years and moved up here to the Drogheda area there. My fiance is from this region, and I was doing the commute for a few years. I know a lot of men have done, and a few times nearly fell asleep going back up the road and decided that it's getting a bit too dangerous. And I unfortunately had to make the decision. But look, in one way, it was very tough to leave the club that you've given your life to, but another way, it's given me a whole new lease of life. Playing hurling up here and involved with St. Feckin's up here. It's been an amazing club to land in, and getting the chance to play inter-county hurling then with Louth has just given me, things I didn't think I was going to achieve in my career, like playing in Croke Park and lifting a title in Croke Park. So, it's been a whirlwind a couple of years up here, but it's been brilliant.
Yeah, you won the Lory Meagher against Longford last year. So can you tell me, like, as you see it, and I know some of the different county reps that are, involved in the counties that I've mentioned, I kind of gave the background to this already. Can you talk in terms of, like, how you received this news, what impact it will have, what impact it has on hurling in these counties? Just give us that sort of background first.
Yeah, well, I suppose, the biggest thing is that we found out about this like most of you did, and it was in the national media. And I suppose I was actually on away, and you're getting all these text messages, your phone's blowing up, and you're seeing all this information that something that really affects what we've been doing over the last few years. And as players, we're giving absolutely everything to our counties to try and elevate hurling in our counties. And even from a personal standpoint, like you mentioned, with Louth, we've got into Division 3A, retained that twice, got out of Lory Meagher into 𝘧𝘢𝘀𝘀 and retained that last year. And that, while we have aspirations to push on this year, that was a big achievement for us. And to play against some of the bigger counties, we games against Mayo, Donegal, these are teams that have been playing at a high level for years. So to kind of get this news that all that could be taken away from us. And I suppose what really hurt a lot of us when we kind of got together as the lead reps from all the counties was that there was no player input in this whatsoever. That we found out about the people who it was going to be affecting. We found out about it the same time as everyone else, which we just kind of saw that really as a sign of disrespect to the players who've been given years and years of service to their counties and trying to put respect on hurling in their counties. And that's been a constant battle for these counties, for forever. And I'm only, as you said, I've only moved up here. I'm only new to this. I'm with Louth now about 5 years, but some of these men are doing this for 15, 16, 17 years. And to see that written on paper without even being given the chance to kind of give their say on how this could affect hurling in their counties, it was very hurtful from a personal standpoint anyway. And then I suppose on your second part of your question, how this is going to affect these counties, we see this as we are completely against this proposal, and we're all uniform and united in that. The very minute this broke, we got a WhatsApp group going with the 5 lead reps from these counties, and everyone was unanimous behind the fact that this can't happen. That if this happens, this could be the death of hurling in these areas. And the way we see it, we have constant battles with trying to get players to play county hurling over football in our areas. And if we lose a national league, those lads are going to be playing football during that period where normally we do have them. And to try and get them back in to be able to play high level hurling that has been happening at this level. If you go to the results of Lory Meagher or 𝘧𝘢𝘀𝘀𝘀 or Division 3B or 3A, they're probably some of the most competitive games in hurling at the minute, score lines and things like that. And that's been the work that's been going on in all these counties. And to just to throw that away, we're flabbergasted.
So Peter, the argument from the CCC would be that the funds saved from playing all these league games and potentially travelling to Warwickshire or travelling to Birmingham or wherever to play these games will go back into, let's say, grassroots coaching in these counties, because a lot of the counties that have been mentioned wouldn't have more than a handful of senior clubs or whatever, and maybe if they had 3 or 4, that would even be more than they actually have. Like, so, like, what's your feeling on, like, if it did happen, that's what would actually happen, that the money would actually go there? I've seen it in my own county before, where I think it was Offaly, Laois, maybe a couple more. There was certain money given to them to develop hurling within those counties. It ended up going elsewhere, shall we say. It definitely didn't go into hurling or developing it. Like, what's your feeling on whether that would actually happen, or would it just be lost a small bit going in other directions?
Yeah, like, to be brutally honest, we feel that this is a cost-cutting measure that's being disguised as something else, because basically they have said that there is an issue with the number of clubs in this county, in these 5 counties, and instead of putting together a plan of, like you're saying, where is this money going to go? How will this money be used? Where is this money? Like, none of this information is available. And like, even there's disputes about some of the figures that are in the document about how much has even been spent on these teams. And like, we just feel that, like, we are being expected to accept this policy into our counties without any plan or without any structure or targets or progression steps on how this is going to happen. Like, look, I'm heavily involved in juvenile in our club, and would I love funding to come in to try and bring on hurling in Louth? 100%. We know the work that's going on at ground level in the clubs that are surviving and are thriving in these counties. And even, like, we almost see this as a bit of a kind of slap in the face to these clubs that have been doing this work for years and years and have been fighting this battle for years and years. And, like, it is a struggle, and we are finding it difficult. And, there is always that challenge of putting a hurl in a young lad's hands. But we're starting to see numbers increase in our clubs. We're starting to see numbers increase at juvenile level. And to be honest, we kind of see that if you pull the senior back and the adult, like, let's be honest, when we were younger, we saw someone doing something at senior level. Like, when I started playing with St. I saw the heroes of St. or the heroes of Carlow when I was 5, 6, 7, and I wanted a hurl in my hand. If we're limited for our exposure and what we can actually do as a senior team, again, where is the aspiration for hurling to increase further, to be more clubs, further to be more players? There's no aspiration. It's just going to kill what is there at the minute, not add to it whatsoever.
Yeah, can I ask you a question? We're bringing in Martin Fogarty here as well, but just a question before I throw it to Martin, Peter, is who do you reckon, like, so you've had conversations with some of the different reps in the counties that have been affected here. Who's having these conversations, like, from a GA point of view? Who is making these decisions? And, like, have you got any firm answers in terms of, like, the mechanisms for this happening?
No, like, to be honest, like, really, without the players' reps getting involved and the discussions we've had and the little information that we've been able to chase, and, like, to be honest, like, this has all kind of happened quite quickly for us as well. And, it can be quite difficult to get everyone in on a Zoom call or this kind of stuff to kind of get there. But, like, we've still not really been approached by anyone to kind of say, this is what's going to happen. This is where the decision is. We know that there's a vote coming up in a couple of weeks where this is going to be put as a proposal to Central Council. But, like, outside of that, like, only for we have went digging and we have tried our best to get whatever information we can out of our county boards. Like, basically little to none has been done to contact us as players and to really kind of say, like I mentioned there, if this was to happen, this is something that could be put in place. Like, we've been in close contact as the 5 reps, and we've been in close contact with the GPA as well. We would be sitting there with that news article that came out on Monday, and that's all the information we would have.